All right, the sadness is piling up around here, and I know I don't need this till spring, but geez, I want it fixed so that it's put together, you know, and I don't have to worry about that at the last minute. So that means we need to figure out what happened and order parts. And we're gonna check that out right after this. Welcome back. If you haven't seen my videos before, well, you're in for a sad time. Because it seems like when we set out to do something simple, bad things happen. Thus, it was with this. We set out to unhook the planter from the tractor so we could use the tractor for something. And when I set it down, stuff grenaded. Now, I had several people in comments saying things that obviously they don't understand. One guy said, I made a mistake because I put the locks in before letting the planter down. No. You put the locks in and then let the planter down on the locks, and then it stays halfway up in the air. Consequently, on this one, it's very balanced, and then you can lift it by hand. You know, keeps all your cutters out of the dirt and what have you. So I always put the locks in and then let it down. Second thing to understand about this, sadly enough, even though it does not say it in the parts book, I would almost bet you that these are rephasing cylinders. And what that amounts to is this one and that one. In the parts book, they actually have those on the outside and the slave cylinders on the inside, but it doesn't matter. These two are connected differently than what you would think, and as a result, they should also be two different piston diameters, because what happens is, as it's plumbed together, and it's going to be hard to visualize this, here you can see a T. Slave cylinder here is one way, slave cylinder there is one way, and then this end, which is your lifting your up end, are connected all together. So when you hit the lever, oil goes to all three of those places. Then, as it does that and pushes down on this, and this side fills up with oil, the oil that was in the other side goes through here, and it goes to the cylinder here and fills it. And yeah, I think I'm saying that right. So that's how she goes. And as a result, there has to be a difference in volume. I don't know how to explain it. So these are rephasing cylinders, most likely. And what that means then is that basically the oil from that one pushes the top of that one down. As a result, you would need some way to get the oil past the top of that piston in the case that you would somehow get them out of phase and the one side wouldn't have enough oil. It would start doing goofy things. So the ones I've had apart, there's actually a notch cut in there, and when you get the piston up so far, it lets the oil bypass. So if you do get it out of phase, you can just hold the lever or bump it or whatever, and a few times it'll refill itself. And then as you let it up, rephasing setups, they usually come up, and when you let off the lever, they slightly settle. But I assume that's what is going on there. But now, to show you the damage, because I have already looked and I know what's happened. What happened is, somebody has previously welded the rod to the clevis and it broke off. And so that is sadness, friends. So we need to get it off of there and take it apart. I think I've located a new rod if everything else is cool, you know, I don't know. The problem is, those cylinders, if you buy a brand new one, $800 from Agco, and I am not a fan of that. Now, they buy them from somewhere else, so I could probably find them and buy them for about $400, but still, if I could fix this for, you know, $200 or less. That's the value price, and it would be just as good. It needed to be rebuilt anyway, so that's $50 right there that wouldn't be wasted or so. But we got to get it out of here, and that might be easier said than done. And I bet you a sad other thing happened here while this is going down. I hope it bent my hex shaft, I bet you. I hope it springs back to true, but I don't know. Yes, I know, it really is terrible. Sing the song of sadness. So what to do, friends? Well, we know the cylinder isn't doing anything anymore. I was hoping I could knock this block out of there, but I don't think that's gonna happen. We can't really pick it up the way we wanted to. I mean, I guess we could try. It would lift with all three of the others, and I could get that lock pulled out maybe, and then we could set it back down, and that cylinder should just swing in there and we could get it. I guess I'm gonna have to do that. I guess I'll go get the tractor back and we'll get that to happen. Oh, sadness. I don't know how this is gonna work. I bet I'm gonna have to figure out how to wedge a block under there and keep this up. Oh, there we go. Come on, get out of there. You're totally destroyed. It doesn't matter. Oh, life is not going like I wanted here. I need to get this out of there. Or not. Or don't reach it, you know. Come on. Ah, come on. There we go. Okay. That's part one. Part two is going to be to get that lock out of there. Come on. You're totally trash. Let's go. There. Now we'll set her back down and hopefully it'll work. I think the shaft sprung back good enough, and that's loose now. So let's shut that off. Let's see if we can get this out of there, and we'll pull it apart. It's gonna be fun, friends. It's gonna be fun. All because of the way that it is in this holder. Yeah, okay. I'm glad I brought 11/16 because that's what they are. I thought so. Remember, I also replumbed this whole planter, so everything has been loose connection-wise, hydraulics, if you know what I'm saying. So we shouldn't run into any that we can't get it loose, you know, situations. I switched and did them all to JIC. I made all those pipes for the front and these clamps to hold them on, because it was just a rat's nest of hoses when I got it. I think there might have been videos on that. I don't remember. Was there? I think this planter came in the YouTube time. So go back and watch those, I guess, if you want to see how far it's come. But I definitely did not see this coming. All right, I'm going to have to turn this pin where I can get to the slow and get to the foldy out part, you know what I'm saying? And then I can get that off of there. See? Okay. I guess now we'll turn it back the other way. Come on. Now, the hard part's going to be get that pin out of there. It's not stuck, but I just don't want to pull nice. There. They did leave us holes in the frame here. Oh, and they were smart enough to make it where it fits through the hole. So great. I was worried that maybe that was not the case. Uh-oh. All right, here's our point of failure. Somebody brazed the heck out of that, trying to get her to hold. And it held all this time until we really needed it. Now I suppose we could take these tie rods out and see what befalls us. Is that gonna work? Good. Sure. Come on out of there. Grease holding us back. One. Oh, that one came loose that way. Sure. Sure. Yeah. Come on. Sure. I question whether this is even put together right. Have a gander at this feller. Does that look like an adequate piston seal? I don't think so. I think it needs something more than that. And this one doesn't have a notch, but this is our rephasing thing right here. This little pin. I'm guessing that what happens is when it hits a certain one side or the other, it pushes that pin and it opens in there. It's probably just enough where it lets it go by. I'm not sure, but that would be my guess, because I don't see any notching in there of any kind. Now let's get our tape measure. It should be three. It's either 3.5 or 3 1/4, and that one is 3.5. I would call that, wouldn't you? I would call that more 3.5 than 3 1/4, because taking into account our Chinesium tape measure is probably not exactly right. So if I can get a rebuild kit for a 3.5 cylinder and the piston rod, which I think was the same between the 3.5s and the 3.25s. Yeah, I'm calling that 3.5. But yeah, if I can't find it on AGCO's thing, then I'm going to go to the hydraulic cylinder shop. You know, it's just, if it wasn't for the rephasingness of it, then we could just go to the farm store and buy off the shelf cylinders, but we can't really do that. So we will do that though for the slave cylinders and the marker cylinders, because they are just regular. The slave cylinders are set up with a one-way vent and they're regular cylinders, and then the other one, the two markers, are two-way regular cylinders, and I can get those for like 89 bucks. So that's a lot better than even trying to rebuild those. So we'll get to that point eventually, but for now we need to get it fixed where it's not destroyed. So I will see about getting them parts there ordered, and then at another point in the future we will get it disassembled, or not disassembled, but disassembled farther and rebuilt and put back together, and life will be grand. But the other thing that's going to be our problem is this clevis, and I was thinking it was super duper expensive through AGCO as well. So I don't know, maybe a guy just wants to, well, it needs rebuilt. It needs rebuilt, and it's just got to be done. So anyway, camera's too hot, but we'll decide what to do, what parts we need. We'll get this put back together, and hopefully all will be happiness for a change, and we can move on to something else on that planter, making it a little more better each year. So that's where we'll leave this one. As always, if you enjoy my videos, give them a thumbs up. Leave a comment and tell me how dumb you think I am. Or if by some slim chance you liked it, say that. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.